Hello and welcome back to our channel, a space dedicated to growth, resilience and self-discovery. Today, we're embarking on an inspiring journey into the world of neuroscience and positive psychology. Together, we'll explore how our brain and our character strengths are deeply connected and how cultivating these inner strengths can dramatically enhance our resilience. So before we begin, I'd like to invite you to pause. Set aside the busyness of your day, take a deep breath, and give yourself this moment. This is your time, a time to reflect, to discover, and to strengthen your inner self. So, now think back to one of the hardest moments in your life. What carried you through it? Was it your determination, the support of others, your faith, or your ability to stay calm under pressure? Whatever it was, that quality is part of your inner strengths. And today, we'll uncover how these strengths are wired into your brain and how you can intentionally cultivate them. In our last episode, we talked about resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. But resilience isn't just about getting through hard times. It's about navigating life with wisdom, balance, and meaning. And at the very foundation of resilience lie our inner strengths. In positive psychology, inner strengths are the positive traits that allow us to handle life's challenges with greater success. They're not external skills, but inner resources we already carry within us. Martin Seligman and Christopher Peterson, the founders of positive psychology, spent years studying wisdom traditions, philosophies, and cultures around the world. And across all cultures, they discovered 6 universal virtues: wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Within these virtues are 24 character strengths, things like curiosity, kindness, perseverance, fairness, gratitude, and hope. Each person carries these strengths in a unique pattern. Some are natural to us, others require more practice, but all of them can be developed. And together, they form the foundation of a resilient life. The neuroscience of strengths. Now here's where things get fascinating. These virtues aren't just ideas, they are supported by real, measurable brain processes. Neuroscience shows us that each virtue corresponds with specific brain regions, neurotransmitters, and networks. And thanks to neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change, we can strengthen these pathways through intentional practice. Let's go through the 6 virtues one by one, connecting them to the brain. 1. Wisdom and the brain. Wisdom helps us see clearly, make sound decisions, and learn from experience. Neuroscience points to the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center, as essential for wisdom. It integrates information, weighs consequences, and helps us solve problems. When we practice reflection and learning, we strengthen these circuits. That's why lifelong learners often show greater adaptability and resilience in the face of change. Try this daily discovery exercise. Each day, learn something new, a fact, a word, or a skill. Small acts of curiosity keep your brain flexible and your wisdom sharp. 2. Courage and neuroplasticity. Courage allows us to act even in the presence of fear. At the neural level, fear is processed in the amygdala, but when we face challenges repeatedly, our brain rewires itself, reducing fear responses and strengthening connections to the prefrontal cortex. In other words, each small act of bravery literally reshapes the brain. Over time, what once terrified us becomes manageable. Micro-bravery practice. Do one small thing each day that stretches your comfort zone. Speaking up in a meeting, introducing yourself to someone new, or trying something unfamiliar. Each act builds your courage circuits. 3. Humanity and social connection. Humanity shows up as kindness, love, and compassion. Neuroscience reveals that acts of connection release oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin enhances trust, calms stress, and strengthens social bonds. When we connect with others, our resilience rises because we're not facing challenges alone, but within a network of support. Exercise. The gratitude giver. Each day, send a genuine thank you message to someone in your life. It strengthens both your relationships and your brain's oxytocin pathways. 4. Justice and the reward system. Justice is about fairness and responsibility. From a neuroscientific perspective, fairness activates the brain's reward system, particularly areas that release dopamine. Acting justly literally feels rewarding. It strengthens the neural link between fairness and positive emotion. This is why standing up for fairness not only benefits society, but also reinforces our own resilience and sense of purpose. Exercise. Perspective swap. When in conflict, pause and ask yourself, how does this situation look from the other person's point of view? This not only cultivates fairness, but strengthens empathy circuits in the brain. 5. Temperance and emotional regulation. Temperance is self-control, moderation, and emotional balance. Neuroscience shows that mindfulness and self-regulation activate the prefrontal cortex, which helps us manage impulses and regulate the emotional responses of the amygdala. Practicing temperance keeps us steady when life feels overwhelming, preventing emotional reactivity and promoting calm. Exercise. 10-minute delay. When you feel the urge to act impulsively, whether it's buying something unnecessary or reacting in anger, pause for 10 minutes. You'll be surprised how often the urge fades away. 6. Transcendence and meaning. Finally, transcendence. This virtue connects us to something larger than ourselves, spirituality, awe, or gratitude. Neuroscience shows that awe activates brain networks linked to the default mode network and positive emotion systems, enhancing perspective and emotional resilience. When we feel part of something greater, challenges become less overwhelming because our struggles are held in a wider context of meaning. Exercise, awe moment. Each day, take time to notice something that inspires wonder. A sunset, music, or even a small act of kindness. These moments of transcendence shift your brain into a more resilient and hopeful state. So how do we bring all this into our life? The key is practice. Just like physical muscles, inner strengths grow when exercised regularly. The beauty is that every act, no matter how small, leaves a mark on the brain. Over time, these daily practices shape who we are, stronger, calmer, and more resilient. Today, we explored how positive psychology and neuroscience come together to explain inner strengths. These aren't abstract ideas. They're qualities rooted in your brain, available to be cultivated every single day. So as you move forward, I encourage you to choose one small practice and try it out this week. Notice how it feels and how it shifts your perspective. Over time, these practices can transform your resilience and help you live with greater strength, balance, and purpose. If this journey has inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tap the notification bell for more insights. And in the comments, share with us, which inner strength do you want to grow in your own life? Until next time, stay curious, stay resilient, and stay strong.